friends, welcome to another episode of my vlog. It is Sunday, May 25th, Memorial Day weekend Sunday, and it's finally not raining. Yes, it's worth mentioning because we got a shit ton of rain, pardon my French here, in the last few days. And boy, it's still cold. I'm sitting here with a long sleeve and a vest. Also, should not happen Memorial Day weekend if you ask me. But yeah, finally getting to hear some garden things done on the weekend. Super exciting weekend. First of all, my garden companion is allowed to show up in videos, so I have a little clip here from her planting out her bed yesterday, which was great. She's 5 years old. Her name is Lilly. She is the granddaughter of Mr. Grown in New England's sister. So they just live down the street and she comes over like almost every other week or so. So she's around a lot. And yes, and she got the gardening bug last year when we harvested for the first time carrots here, my Thanksgiving carrots, and she loved it. Didn't stop talking about it. So I gave her my small little bed as a Christmas gift. So to plant out, and that's what we're going to do this year. And she was very excited. She couldn't believe how tall her peppers grew because we just started that in spring. And yeah, it's just such a fun age to garden with. So that will be a lot of fun through this year to just see how she experienced it. So I made just a simple plan for them to have a little bit of everything. So there's one cherry tomato in it, a couple of peppers. There's going to be a micro cucumber in it as well. Let's see how micro that one stays. I don't know that variety. That's just how it's sad. It stays like small and it's like mini snacking cucumber. So we'll see about it. And a couple of bush beans here and there. So yeah, I'm really excited to get this going. And then in the back, you might see here the netting. That is what I did today. I planted my dahlia tubers. This video is coming out on Friday. If you want to see all the details about how I plant them, in which order, spacing, depth, all of the details is coming in this video. So yeah, what else was going on last week? Oh, you haven't heard about the epic eggplant saga from last weekend because that happened after I recorded already the vlog. For some reason, when I was planting out my tomatoes and my peppers, my eggplant seedlings were missing, and I only had 2. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, where could those eggplant seedlings been gone? To the point that I was suspecting my neighbors, but they're nice enough. They would ask if they see something interesting on my seedling cart or so, right? But I was like, WTF, did the groundhog get them and just didn't leave any like evidence? We were like, we couldn't make sense of it. And then I went through my pictures step by step to see when I had the last picture taken from my eggplants to see when, like, the time frame they disappeared. And to cut that long story short, it turned out like when I started hardening off, I had them all in our under our deck in the shade, and that is a very messy and very disorganized and yeah, messy place. And one night I had to emergency pull them in because guess what? We had rain again, and not rain, but an incredible downpour, and it was already dark. And I think when I grabbed them, because they were like on the outer corners on the tray with the peppers, they must have fallen off when I grabbed them, or already fallen off beforehand because the rain was so loud and so hammering. I would not have heard them falling off it. And sure enough, when I went there, and it was like hidden behind a container, so nobody who left the basement door or so would have seen them because, again, like there were other crap in front of it. So they were truly hidden. So they were there by themselves for 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, laying halfway out of their seedling pots, still living. So I planted them. They look sad, but I think they will pull through. I didn't have any time and energy anymore to harden them off, so they were just got planted there. So you can see some sun scald on them, and they were like literally like they were both like laying there and like trying to reach light. So they had both like an L-shaped form now. But I think they're going to be fine. But oh my, that was like 4 hours of like, they can't be gone. Where are they? I don't have any explanations for it. So mystery solved. Oh, anyway, so I thought that was an entertaining, crazy story. I was literally questioning myself if I did get rid of them in the process and just forgot about it because I'm so busy right now and memory can strike me at times like, did I really do that? Especially when I do something distracted, or a lot of things, like when you pot things up. I was like, no, they were like perfect, beautiful, gorgeous seedlings. And I only had 2 because I only needed 2. Yeah. Anyway, mystery solved. So I finally replaced the netting on my Titan squash tunnel, which was really great. That looks a lot better now because the old one had like holes in certain places which I couldn't fix anymore. And we had to cut it into shape because it was slightly bigger than the squash tunnel itself. But in the end, it worked out well after I pulled Mr. Rooney in England for help, because like it was like getting caught on every little nook and cranny and was challenging my patience. So use 2 people for that, it goes a lot quicker in that regard. So that is something what we did. And I might actually get another one of those nets and use them for the netting for the melons, because I just used the skinnier netting for the peas, which works great for the peas right now. But once the watermelon and cucumbers go in this bed, I want to have full coverage on the netting over it, and I really like that one, so I think that will go well. Yeah, and then what else did we do? I was briefly traveling, so I didn't do super much under the week in the garden, and also the weather was so crappy. I was a little bit concerned about planting the dahlias out because it's slightly still too cold and slightly still too wet in the forecast for me, if you ask me. But I don't have any time next weekend, and I certainly don't want to wait until mid-June to plant them out. I think they're going to be fine. After the 2 inches we got under the week, I was actually surprised how well drained the bed is. The soil is still moist, but I thought it would be a lot wetter. So I think it's going to be fine. And temperatures are finally popping up starting tomorrow again. We have like 70s again, which we haven't seen in like the last 10 days. And oh yeah, the cold and wet spring so far. I was thinking that I come back from Colorado, and all my peppers and tomatoes are going to be super angry at me for that cold and wet week. But no, they're all chill and all fine and look like they grew an inch in the last week. I'm sure they're going to be happy with more sun starting tomorrow as well. Even the basil didn't bother. What is not happy is the zinnias. So I'm like, ugh. I was considering just seeding a few ones in between, just to see if those seedlings don't pull through, that I have at least some other seeds sitting there. But I'm not sure if Lorette is selling next year new seeds, and I don't want to waste all my other remaining seeds. So I'm like, nah, hedging my bets right now. I have anyway an experiment going on. I have in the zinnia strip half seedlings and half direct seeded. Because last year when I did the zinnia review video, a lot of people commented that they have a lot higher rate of double zinnias when they direct seed them. For seedlings, they get mostly singles. So I'm really curious to see. It's a very short or small number of seedlings versus direct seeded plants. So I'm not sure if that's a scientific experiment, but I'm curious to see if that truly makes a difference. So we will see about that. And yeah, what I'm doing this week I'm home. I have off until Wednesday. So I'm buttoning up a lot of things. So the main garden is, now that we have the dahlias planted, completely done, which is such a relief. The dahlias are always the last big push, and we're not talking about how my back is feeling right now. Not the greatest. But yeah, so tomorrow morning I'm going to fill up with soil my deck container, my new Vera deck container on the deck and on my front stairs, and I'm going to plant them if I have still time. In the afternoon, I'm meeting with Gavi from Sweet Sun Farm, who has my seedling number 1 majority tuber sets over there. So we're discussing a content plan for her. Then in the afternoon, I'm going to my friends who I turn into gardeners as well to plant out their plants. So I have a few more seedlings left to go plant out with them and the kiddos, which is going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And Tuesday, I'll most likely try to get rid of all the ugly nook and crannies, which is mostly in the driveway. Mr. Grown in New England surprised me this week with we had like kind of a junk corner over there, with like just like in dead microwave, our old grill, which we're not using anymore, and a few other items which are just too big to discard. And yeah, he got a junk removal guy taking care of all of it. So that corner looks now really nice, except for all my garden stuff over there. So I definitely want to clean that up. And the irrigation, we're finally connecting on Tuesday. I haven't had any hurry with the irrigation, with the amount of rains we had here in the last few days. And still on the forecast, so there's really no need to irrigate anything just yet. But yeah, I'm happier when it's all done and connected, so I can use it when I need it. Yeah, and I'm busy in June. Like I have already, I think, like 3 or 4 trips planned. So we got to button those things up here and put everything on autopilot so that I can go and nobody has to take care of anything yet until it's harvest time. So yeah, but I'm so excited to have it planted all. And now we just wait, just enjoy it. So yeah, let me know what you were up to. I'm sure you had a lot of fun things to do in the garden this weekend too. You know, I'd love to chat with you in the comments, and otherwise I'll see you next week.